If you ask Forbes, they will tell you that a good return on an investment portfolio is 7%. If you ask Bigger Pockets, a good return on investment in the real estate market is 15%. And then if you ask Mash Advisor what a good return on investment is for an Airbnb, they tell you 8 to 12%. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have an Airbnb investment that's making over 1,000% ROI, and I want to tell you all about it in this video. I am kind of proud of this, and it was a total risky move. I have done something I have never done before, and so I'm going to tell you about my deal and what I did that's kind of different than anything I've ever taught before on this channel, and how you could potentially make the same awesome money on your own deal. Sean Rakidzich, Airbnb guy, that's what I do. Let's jump in. Now, if you recall, I did a video in Austin way back in the day, maybe some months ago, about a type of smart lock that I use. So I like these Sifely smart locks, but I went down there to check out the properties and take a video so that way I can, of course, tell you about what we're up to. Well, this is that special deal that is making over 1,000% ROI, and it's actually kind of mind-bending. I was like, I wonder how these Austin properties are doing. So of course I went into our system and took a look at our revenues, and it's pretty nuts. Let me first give you the vitals on the properties. These are rental properties, okay? So I don't own these properties. So some of you guys might be confused 2 minutes in, but by the end of the video, I will fix any confusion in case you don't know kind of what I'm up to. I rent these properties from a landlord, and my rents are about $1,100 per apartment. That's what I pay. My revenue for July was $2,700 and change. These are the base stats. What it costs to start this unit is the part that really starts to get super cool. And so let me break down the whole costs. When I started this unit, the one that made $2,700, the furniture setup cost, I paid a company to come and stage, deliver, do it all. So our company didn't even do it. We used a contractor. That contractor charges about $537. Now, we bought more stuff because that contractor didn't buy everything that an Airbnb needs. And so we went and we actually bought more stuff, which you can actually see on my TikTok videos. We went and we cruised around, went to At Home and went to other places like Marshall's Home Goods and bought a bunch of things. And that was about $381 worth of stuff. To get that lease activated, we negotiated with the landlord that we give him a security deposit, and we get the first 10 weeks of rent for free, and we'd start paying rent on the 11th week. So we basically gave the landlord $200 to start this lease. We are renting this furniture instead of buying it, and that's the new thing here. Our furniture rental cost for this unit is $312 and change. Our total startup cost was furniture delivery setup, supplemental furniture and supplies that we got for the unit, and then security deposit. That's a total cost of $1,281.79, and that's what it costs to start this unit. Our ongoing costs, which factor into our final end of life cost for this, our ongoing costs are $1,100 for rent, the rental for the furniture, the $312 and change, supplies and utilities. This is a small apartment, so we're talking like toilet paper, stuff like that, cleaning supplies, if we don't factor that into housekeeping, but we're actually factoring that into housekeeping. So in this case, supplies are like only $20 for like guest side consumables like coffee and things. And then utilities for internet and electricity is about $140 because it's such a small unit, it doesn't use much electricity at all. Now our housekeeping cost per month is about $300. We hire our own housekeepers, pay them by the hour. This woman that we have running this building, she's paid a salary. She's paid a weekly salary, so her average per month for this unit is $300. Now that makes her operating expenses for this unit $1,872 and some change. And that's our total expenses. Now, I will say that $1,800 and change is a pretty low operating cost for most units, excluding the fact that we're renting the furniture. We have a lot of apartments where our rents are $1,800 just for the rent, and then everything else on top of that. Like in Philadelphia, a lot of our 2-bedroom properties are $1,800, $1,900, $2,100 a month. So this is by far a super cheap listing compared to things. And this is in Austin as well, the same place that Tesla's moving, a lot of other companies are moving. It's growing so quick. And these we found in a neighborhood that's getting gentrified, you could say. There's a lot of like flipping and remodeling and refurbishing. So this is definitely a not pretty building that the landlord decided to do a remodel in, and we negotiated these doors on the back of the remodel. So that's how this came to be. So that $872 is pretty darn cheap, including the fact that we're renting the furniture. This is like almost a walk-away cheap deal. Compared to our revenues, $2,700 a month, that makes our revenues for the year just over $32,000. If you factor in that we got 10 weeks of rent for free, that actually affects our year-long total operating costs because we'll have to deduct $2,750 off of the rent for the whole year because we got 10 weeks of rent for free. It took us about 10 days to set up and get going, so we got going less than 14 days, and this finalizes the math. Our cost for the year before deducting the 10 weeks of rent for free is $22,159 and change, minus the $2,715 free rents. Our cost for the year is $19,409 and change. And then our revenues, $32,556. Pretty wild. So that leaves us a net profit of $13,146 over our startup costs of $1,281, leaving us a 1,030% ROI. Now, for one Airbnb, $13,000 for the whole year in profit isn't really impressive, so it doesn't really end there. Of course, this channel, it doesn't end here. It's not just that simple. So yes, this door, $13,000 for the year. But when we did this deal, we negotiated 11 doors at this building and set them all up at the same time. So when you do the math on 11 doors, we're looking at more like a $144,000 for the year profit total on 11 doors. And our total cost to get started was $14,102 to get started on all 11. So our startup cost being $14,000, here's something to consider, and this is why this is weird. I've never done this before, and that's why this math on this deal, and I want you to follow along, is kind of compelling. Typically, to get started with an Airbnb property of this size, like a studio or a one bedroom, you're gonna spend about $6,000 to get started because you've got your lease activation costs. You're gonna buy all the supplies yourself. You're gonna buy all the furniture, all the essentials, even down to the towels and the linens, right? So in this case, if we did 3 deals and we did a savvy job, because there was no lease activation costs, only $200 security deposits, we could potentially get 3 doors for that $14,000. Now, if we got 3 doors for that $14,000, we would add $1,400 profit per door roughly instead of the $1,100-ish that we had in the deal prior. So sure, we make $300-ish more dollars per door because we're not paying rent on the furniture on the back end, but we only have 3 units instead of 11. So our profit for 3 doors leads us to $4,200 per month for 3 doors. And if we do that math times 12, we're really still only looking at about $50,000 in profit for the year. And this is where I want to split this right down the middle, guys. We have options. We can do rent-to-own furniture, super low startup costs. With higher base operating costs, total life on this deal, we're gonna make $144,000 per year. Where if we buy the furniture, we have a cost reduction on the back end. We have a lower operating cost, which means that we're more stable, we're more safe, we can pay our liabilities more easily to the tune of an extra $350 and change potentially. In this case though, by buying furniture up front, we lost some actual top end efficiency here. For the amount of cash we had to invest, we were able to make almost $100,000 more in profit every single year. It is higher risk, and obviously that means not only is it a higher return on investment, but it's just more total profit, which is really cool. And again, I'll say this, 7% or 15% or 12% are the ROI numbers that people are telling you that you're trying to get per year on your investment. And in this case, we're taking $100 and turning it into $1,000. And back when I first started this channel, back when I said, buy your furniture, never take loans, never take debt, we were bragging that we're making first year ROI about 270% first year ROI, factoring in that we paid off the furniture as well. So we buy the furniture, we pay off the furniture, and then we make 270% on that. And that's what we were working with. And that's still pretty good. 250% ROI is pretty intense. But in this case, because we're doing a rent to own and we took a higher risk path, we've got over 1,000% ROI. And that's a pretty big deal. Now, I told one of my students that they could do something like this if they wanted to, but because of the extra fat in the deal, the only way I would ever consider doing rent to own furniture like I did with this deal is to get free rent. The fact that we have 10 weeks of rent for free on this deal makes it, we'll do this deal any way, shape, or form. If a building gives us 10 weeks of rent for free, that is so much free rent that I'll take furniture, typical, I'll rent to own furniture, I'll go to your mom's house and I'll steal her furniture to get this deal done, because 10 weeks of rent for free is like the best deal on the planet. And here's why you should consider this, is because deals are time sensitive. I talk a lot about getting free rent on this YouTube channel if you're gonna do arbitrage, and a lot of you might not even care about rental arbitrage on this YouTube channel. That's okay. You wanna learn about pricing strategy, managing cleaners, stuff like that, which of course, more of those videos will be coming, so like and subscribe to this channel if you wanna learn all about how to run these Airbnbs. But on the arbitrage side, I tell people that getting free rent is probably one of the most important things that you should do in a deal, and those deals are time sensitive. A landlord giving free rent is because they are having a moment of weakness, and that moment of weakness might just be one moment. And to get that deal done, if you don't have enough cash to take 20 doors with a bunch of free rent, you might need to invoke a rent-to-own furniture company like this to get the deal done. I will be doing a series of videos on this rent-to-own furniture company and another company that does the setup where you buy the furniture and then set it up for you. By the way, I think Wayfair does that also, but I'm not sure if Wayfair does it at a good deal. We're gonna cover all this in future videos, but we're breaching into some new experimental stuff, and I can tell you that renting your furniture can still make a lot of money. And that's the whole point of this video. So I hope you liked it. Of course, if you have any questions, you know where to find me in the comments. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.